Welcome to episode 2 of Top Tier versus Bottom Dollar, where we are testing out different components to see if they actually make that much of a difference in your golf equipment. Today we are starting with one of my favorite components, the grip. It is the part of the club that you grab first and you touch it on every single shot. If a good grip, if it feels good in your hand, you're likely to put a good swing on the ball. But is that actually true? We're going to go hit different grips on the simulator. We have an expensive grip, we have an inexpensive grip. So let's actually go over to my desk. We're going to go check out all the different things and see the two grips that I chose, the differences in them. Then we're going to head to the simulator. After we head to the simulator, I'll give you some of my final thoughts on the grips overall. Here are the grips we ended up choosing. So, for our inexpensive grip, I grabbed a set. So 13 of these cost $20 of King Grasp grips. They were, when I sorted by least expensive, these popped up. So we went with these. They were, again, $19 for a full set of 13 of them. So that is like $1.50 a grip right here. So the expensive one I decided to go with is a brand that I've always kind of liked. I've seen their stuff before, and that is Ionic. This is their standard grip. The Ionic feels really nice. It's a very well-known Japanese brand. They don't exactly use rubber. They have their own kind of polymer kind of deal. It kind of simulates rubber a little bit, but it's not quite rubber. But let's go over some these grips and talk about what's good, what's bad about them, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run over to the simulator and see how they do over there. Let's talk expensive grip first. We are going with the Ionic. This is the sticky 2.3, I want to say. Yep, sticky 2.3. You can actually see it's right there on the back, the Ionic 2.3. Standard size grip. I got it in the red color. I love red. The polymer, or whatever they use, I'm not exactly sure what they call it, but it's basically a rubber-like polymer. What's really cool about this is you can actually clean this with Windex. You spray it with Windex, hit it with a toothbrush, and wipe it down, and it cleans it up really nice, makes it like new. It was $13 just for one grip, but what I will say is it feels very, very high-end. This is a very nice feeling grip. It's nice, it's consistent, you can see there. There's no real rough edges. You can feel the taper goes exactly how you want it to. Everything just is real polished, finished, looks really nice. And the biggest thing is it feels great. The golf grip is the only part of the club that you touch. And so you want to make sure you have a nice one. This feels really good, that you like the feel of it. You want to make sure that you like the way it feels in your hand and it connects you with the club the right way. When I put my hand around it, you can feel it's pretty tacky. You can hear that. You can hear that tackiness in there. And that's what you want from your golf grip. The last thing you need is it to be unstable and it to slip out of your hand. So overall feel of the Ionic, like it a lot. Love the look. It's a great red color. But let's move on to the King's grip and see how we get along with that. So here we are, King's Grasp. You can see right here, it's got this crown on it. King's Grasp, it says it on the back right there. It's got this lion on it, standard size. Got the red one. $20 for 13 of these, and I hate to say this, but you definitely get what you pay for with these. This grip feels awful. This is one of the worst plasticky feeling grips I have ever used in my life or put my hands on. The biggest thing that is the biggest problem with this grip is, I don't know if you can really see it, but there is a giant seam where they put the grip together. You can see it right there. It's on both sides. And it's just absolutely atrocious. It's almost like a reminder grip, except for it's on the top and the bottom if you put it that way. If you put the crown how it's supposed to go, it's on the sides. Yeah, this thing feels awful. It says it's rubber, but I refuse to believe that this is rubber. It feels so plasticky. The butt end, watch this when I squeeze it. Squeeze is pretty easy. Squeeze is pretty easy. And then, like, a little harder there. A little harder there. Impossible here. What is happening in the butt end of this club? Yeah, it feels awful. It just feels absolutely terrible. But let's see how it performs. I would hate to pay for this. Again, it was $1.50, so you get what you pay for. But really, if you told me I had to play golf with this or just not play golf, I'd rather use old grips than use this. This feels terrible. So I cut it open to see why it was so rock hard here at the end. And yeah, it's just a lot of rubber. That's all it is. There's no anything inside of there, and that is just insane to me. I know, because I have changed plenty of grips, that the cap here, you can see there's a little bit of white down in there, and I think that's kind of where the cap begins. I know, if you had ever done any club repair or anything like that, you've changed your own grips, you go, oh man, it's always tight at the top. It's much thicker up there. Not like this though. Like, here's a plain old Golf Pride Tour Velvet, right? Pretty good all the way through. Look, even up here, I can get pretty close. It still moves. This doesn't move, man. So yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Like, it's really thick there. I can still kind of get into that and squeeze it and it'll touch. Like, if I tried to do that here, it just doesn't. I don't know why, but it's so much rubber. Like, there's so much in here. And here's the other crazy part. Inside of here, it actually feels pretty good. It doesn't feel that bad. I mean, it doesn't feel great. But, yeah, what a weird grip.
Literally everything on this has changed from the original, test one that we did. Ball speed goes up, carry distance has jumped up, total has jumped up, spin rate goes down 1.6, smash factor up. Everything is up. Club path is a little bit better. Attack angle a little bit better as well. So the grip makes a huge difference, guys. The grip makes a massive difference here. So I would definitely look at it. This is the most expensive grip. I'm really excited to see what an inexpensive grip does, but in terms of numbers, this just is inarguably better. Just getting a standard grip, it is the most expensive one that they have. It's a $12 grip, but if you could pick up 11 yards for 12 bucks, a lot of people will do that, me included. It's actually close enough now where I would be willing to look at this versus my current clubs, and these are 12 years old. Yeah, these numbers are pretty good. Ball speed much lower than my current clubs do, but compared to where these clubs were, yeah man, pretty good overall. We're gonna sit here, kind of look at the numbers with the cheap grip. Total is 149.8, so 150. Carry is 140.8, which I think is about 3-4 yards short of the good grip. That being said, smash factor is a little bit higher. What I'm noticing, if you kind of compare the two, and I'll show you the other one here in a second, but we end up more here in the middle, but shorter. These long ones go much further. Those don't have much spin, lots of ball speed on those because they basically deal off to the club. But we find a little bit more here, whereas the nice grip kind of gave us a nice grouping all left. This kind of gave us a little bit shorter, a little bit spinnier, but it got us right in here, which is kind of nice. Nice and consistent there at about 145 is kind of what it looks like if I click. Here you'll see 145, 146, 148, 148. They just kind of flop out at 150. Gets out there a little bit. Here's the ones that scare you a little bit. But overall, I mean, this one carried 150. Massive ball speed, great spin rate, big smash factor. Clearly caught that one more in the middle of the face, and club speed jumped up there. So club speed's up a little bit with the more expensive grip, and I totally get it. I mean, this one feels awful. This grip, just to be honest, just doesn't feel very good. It feels very plasticky. It's very rough. It's got 2 giant seams on it. But yeah, these are pretty good results. I don't think they're not worth buying, and I think it'd be interesting to try a different type of grip from this company, because maybe this type of grip, because they offer a bunch of different types of grip, maybe if we switch up the type, maybe we get a little bit better. But numbers wise, we're pretty close. Everything's pretty close here. They're shorter, but that could be chalked up to a swing difference, especially with the smash factor remaining the same, or at least pretty close.
So let's answer the question. Should you go top tier, or should you go bottom dollar? And I gotta be honest with you, performance-wise, your swing's gonna matter a lot more, right? But that's not why you're watching this. The question, if we're just talking about numbers, I think more expensive isn't necessarily better. But let me tell you, if we're talking about everything that goes into it, enjoyment of the game, if we talk about enjoyment of looking at them, touching them, feeling them, enjoying the game, what feels the best, what's going to give me the confidence, top tier would win. The numbers, value-wise, it's hard to argue against the King Grasp. But in terms of better grip, I gotta go with the Ionic. Now, the better question is, or better answer is, this one was awful. 2 of these are more expensive than 13 of these. What about something in the middle? That's probably your better option here. You don't necessarily need to spend 13. You don't need to spend $1.50. What if you went and you did 6 or 7 for a classic Golf Pride Tour Velvet? What about my friends over at Star Grip? They make a grip that they warranty for a long time. Their Sidewinder feels good, comes in a bunch of different colors. Yeah, why not go with one of those? These are about $7-8 as well. Same price as a Tour Velvet, but you get a bunch of cool colors. Feels better than this one does. It's not as expensive as the Ionic. It doesn't feel as good as the Ionic, right? The Ionic feels the best out of all 4 of these, but if we're talking about performance and value, you don't got to go top dollar or top tier. You don't got to go bottom dollar. The stuff in the middle is still pretty good. You're going to get a lot of the performance of this Ionic in the Tour Velvet and the Sidewinder. So the question is, more expensive, more better? If I take these out, performance-wise, probably not. But for enjoyment of the game, feeling in your hand, using them, longevity, I can just tell you the Ionic will last longer than this. This is cheap, plasticky feeling. I don't see it lasting more than maybe a season if you're lucky. So, yeah, I got to give it the top tier here over bottom dollar.